back in the chair. You've missed the chair, haven't you? Yeah, you've missed these swinging, wobbly videos. I know. Hey Ecofictologists, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lovis and today I am going to talk to you a little bit about my work in progress and my goals for this Camp Nano July event. I actually cannot believe that Camp Nano starts all over again tomorrow by the time that this video goes out. I'm in a state of denial at how quickly 2021 is going, so I'm just gonna go with the flow and I'm not thinking about it too much. But I am aware that Camp Nano is coming up, and so I am thinking about my book more and more. And back in April, you watched me finish my first draft, which was incredibly exciting. I was very happy. And then in May, I went on a bit of a realization journey. We could probably put it that way. I realized that there were some major problems with it that I absolutely 100% needed to fix. And by that I don't mean plot hole problems or anything kind of craft related. I mean that the plot and some aspects of the world building were problematic. When I suspected that this was the case, I hired some sensitivity readers. Shout out to all the sensitivity readers out there who are taking on that emotional burden so that we can all learn. I appreciate you so much, and they gave me some invaluable advice. So I have kind of come back to the drawing board, let's say. Not completely, because I do want to use as much of the draft as I can, especially the world building and character development that I've done and the magic system that I developed. I think those are still usable, but the plot pretty much has to change. Oh, and if you watched my video on writing my episodic serial series, and you were expecting me to work on that this July because that is what I said I would do, I'm really sorry, that's not going to happen. That was the plan until I realized that this draft, I couldn't walk away from this draft without fixing these things. So the serial has been pushed, apologies, but all of my attention and my focus and concentration devoted to writing is right now on this draft. I cannot focus on anything else until I fix this monster that I have created. So sorry. If you're really sad that I'm kind of starting from the beginning, believe me, you are not as sad as I am. But I would rather rewrite this story 100 times than knowingly send something out there that could offend or hurt someone. That is the worst thing that I could imagine my writing doing. And so I am constantly learning, and I'm trying to implement what I'm learning. I'm getting advice from lots of different avenues. I'm using sensitivity readers. I'm trying to do everything that I can to do this as respectfully as possible. If you saw my video last week, you'll know that I'm introducing a new perspective into my work in progress, that of an ecologist in my fantasy world. And I'm doing that because I haven't seen that many examples of that kind of thing, and I'm an ecologist and I like fantasy, and I thought it was an interesting thought experiment to see if I could do it. It would be kind of cool if this became part of my author brand, kind of what people expect of me. And I really like the dynamic that's forming between my original MC and this new perspective. I like it a lot. Actually, since we're on the topic of last week's video, there was something that was brought up in the comments that I did want to quickly address because it was a really interesting discussion and made me realize that I probably confused some people in last week's video. One of my viewers mentioned that in the video it came across as though I had a very narrow view of ecologists because I was trying to smush them into this epic fantasy genre. And this was surprising to me because I fully expected the comment that I have a very narrow view of epic fantasy, which is most likely true. I didn't actually expect the comment that I have a narrow view of ecologists, because I don't personally think that's true of my normal life, but potentially it seems that way because I'm trying to take a very specific kind of character and a very specific kind of story and trying to mush them together. And since I was finding that it was more difficult than I originally expected to do that, the comment was, why am I doing that? Why am I restricting myself so much to taking these labels? I should take a step back and come up with the ecology and just let the story build from there, which is super solid advice, actually. And it is advice that I'm going to take. But I wanted to make one thing more clear than I made it in last week's video, and that was that this is a challenge that I have set for myself. I really enjoy reading epic fantasy. And up until now, I have enjoyed writing epic fantasy. And now that I've made the decision that I want to explore how to write an ecologist into the stories that I like to write, the challenge becomes, can I write an epic fantasy ecologist with high stakes? But the comment that I am too focused on the labels is a really good one, and it is something that I do want to address, because I have talked about before kind of the danger of using too many labels and categories and other things, because there's the danger of othering something that doesn't fall into that category. So potentially I do need to step away from the labels and not let them restrict me so very much. But I do find labels sometimes useful in narrowing the focus a little bit to figure out exactly what I want. So that's how I'm using them. But I'm not being restricted by the labels from the outside, kind of. I'm putting that restriction on myself because I see this as a challenge and I want to explore if I can do it. So I can completely understand why probably several viewers were like, why is she stressing about this? Just write a story about a fantasy ecologist and go from there. Which I can do. I can think of many stories about fantasy ecologists that I could write. My extra challenge was to have the stakes be so high that they make some kind of social change, or that I can at least make a commentary on social change. And I want the story to resonate on an epic fantasy scale with an environmental message, with these high stakes. This is something that I can't find, and so I want to write it. I hope that clears up some questions that maybe some of you have. If not, I'm more than happy to continue this conversation in the comments. I love that people are engaging with me, and I so appreciate this viewer who brought this to my attention. Thank you. But I hope this clears up some of it. Okay, that section was a little bit longer than I thought it was going to be. I rambled a bit. Sorry about that. We're gonna get back to Camp Nano, July, goals. Let's do it. So back in April, you probably remember I had two goals. I had one for my novel and one for my PhD thesis, which I wanted to finish by the end of April. If you followed my vlogs, you'll know that that did not happen. Best laid plans and all that. I am still working on it. I am again in this position where I want to finish it by the end of July, but this time I am learning from the past and I am taking a step back from the novel writing goal, and so that I am not distracted from my thesis writing goal, because this is like a life thing. I need to finish this. So my Camp Nano goal is not going to be word count centered. It's going to be time centered. I am making the goal that I will spend half an hour every day doing something writing related. That could mean dictating a brainstorming session. It could mean reading a craft book. It could mean having a chat with my writing group. It could mean actually writing, or scrolling on Pinterest for mood board ideas, or creating a music playlist. Anything that helps move my story forward. I'm choosing to do it this way because this is basically what I do now. My story is always ticking away in the background of my mind. And in the morning when I take the dog out, or when I have a shower, I'm always brainstorming. I don't want to take on extra stress in July, so I'm making this a very achievable goal that will make Camp Nano really fun and hopefully will still help progress me forward. And help me finish my friggin' thesis. I am planning on sharing my nano journey with you. I'm not sure exactly what format that's going to take. Last time I did it in weekly vlogs, and my word, that was a lot of work. And I was constantly filming, and I don't know. It was fun, and by the views, you know, people liked it. But I don't know if I'm going to be quite that intense this July. If you have ideas about the format which you would like to see, please leave those down in the comments below. I think I'm going to do a bit of a mix and match. I think I'm going to talk about what I've learned that week in my little half-hour stints and the progress that I've made in my story. I might do it in like a hybrid vlog talking head style. We'll see. Whatever's easiest for me, to be perfectly honest. So a time-based goal for Camp Nano this time. A loose goal could be that I have a bit of an outline ready by the end of the month, but I'm not going to force myself into that. I think I have a lot to figure out still about this book, but I am making great progress and I'm really excited about it, so maybe there will be a little bit of an outline. I will also be doing Camp Nano live streams on other channels. Tomorrow I've got one with Katelin Urgo. That's scheduled, and right now, of course, I cannot. I think it's 8 p.m. my time, so 8 p.m. GMT. I'll put it on the screen when I edit this. So that's kind of it for me for this week. I'm really excited for the next month. Hopefully I survive. Hopefully I do everything I want to do this time around. And hopefully you're all here for the ride. I'll be posting about the progress I'm making in the Rewilding Our Stories Discord server. So if you want to join in with our writing chat, you definitely can do. The invite link for that is in the description below. And if you like what I do and would like to support me, then head on over to patreon.com/ecofictology and become a patron, where your monthly donation buys me books and also supports Love the Oceans, a marine conservation organization operating out of Mozambique. So that's all I've got for you today. The next few videos will most likely focus on topics like this, the writing side of ecofiction and how I'm discovering it, so I hope you're excited for that. And then, if everything goes to plan, I might take a bit of a hiatus in August, because by then, hopefully, I'm celebrating submitting my thesis, and I need a break. You guys, I need a break. This channel has kept me sane over the craziness that has been the last year and a bit, but now I think I need a break. So, last leg in July, get me to my hiatus in August. Let's do it. And I will see you next week, Ecofictologists.